What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the 11th episode of the Upland Show. For some reason, the 11th episode means we wear weird glasses at the beginning.
Is it really the 11th?
It's
You've
the
counted?
11th episode of the Upland Show.
Really?
Yeah.
Even
we've
all
done
of
a
your...
lot more like YouTube videos than that. By the way, if you're one of those people who only listens to us on Spotify or iTunes, go check us out on YouTube. YouTube.com/The Upland Show. We upload videos all the time.
That's right, because we are really quite dashing looking, and you don't want to miss that.
Yeah, we're so dashing. Dude, okay, so Vince and I had this conversation with a girl recently. This girl that is a friend of mine, you could say. And she was telling me how girls like to be pursued, okay? Almost as if she's saying,
Please pursue me.
girls like to be pursued and men don't like to be pursued. And I'm kind of like, tell me a guy, Vince McSqueeb.
Sure.
Tell me a guy who doesn't want a hot chick to be after him and be like, to be, you know.
So she's saying it's gender specific.
That's how it felt. And I'm like, dude, if a hot chick's coming after me, I'm not like, that girl's weird. Dude, I like to be pursued. I'm a guy. I would love to be pursued. Pursue me.
Right. In fact, his number is area code 801.
Instagram at LOYLDOYL. That is Loyal Doyle. Hit
please
me up in the
pursue him.
DMs.
That's funny. So, okay, so here's her theory is that women want to be pursued and that men, does she say that men want to pursue?
I feel like that's implied in like the general and you even have some men when women say that, like, yeah, I hate when a girl's after me. It's like, yeah, men don't like to be nagged. Like, nobody likes that. But like,
sure, no one wants rejection. Like, it's not like men are saying, please reject
if
me.
Jennifer Aniston or Jessica Alba's hitting you up in your DMs, you're like, that's gross. Why are they hitting me up first?
Stop pursuing me.
Stop pursuing me.
I'm the pursuant. Yeah, that seems kind of...
Come on, it's whack.
It is whack.
It's
Yeah,
one
I
of those like assumptions that we make as a society that's complete bullcrap. If a guy gets pursued by a girl that he's into,
right,
he will reciprocate said pursuant.
Although, let's be clear, as long as we're wearing these glasses, no one's going to be pursuing anybody.
All right, let's take them off then.
But I agree with you. Like, there does seem to be this common, I would say, double standard or belief that this particular gender has to have it this way categorically, and that the other gender must comply.
Yeah.
And you could that's, I'm sure that's interchangeable from gender to gender. I'm sure there are unfair assessments of the female gender as well as the unfair assessment of the male gender. I don't know why we're talking about this, but I would say that I would agree that it is I would say bovine feces BS to say that or suggest that any human being does not like to be liked. Right?
Yeah.
Stop liking me.
To that, dude.
Stop
bovine feces that all day.
Right. BF.
Welcome to the Upland Show, where we talk about societal norms and differences, but we do want to get into Upland stuff since we are the Upland Show.
Okay, let me ask you a question really quick, though, before we get into the Upland Show.
Okay.
How many of our viewers do you think are female versus male?
I would assume,
I mean, do we know?
95% male.
Why would you say that?
Because I have YouTube analytics that tells me so.
Wait, so when I sign up for YouTube, it knows that I'm male?
Apparently, dude.
I don't remember.
Apparently, your
indicating
Gmail
I'm
means
male.
you have a gender assigned to it.
Oh, that's right. Gmail does ask for that question.
Do they?
It does. I mean, it has multiple options
I actually
beyond
don't
just
remember
male
that.
and female. But
But
yeah,
apparently, YouTube knows.
it does. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. All right, that's cool. So we have 95% males, or people who have indicated themselves to be male.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool.
In other words, we need more females watching us. That's why we talk about relationships at the beginning of our episode.
Right. We can be as misogynistic as we want because only 5% of you are actually female, and probably you're not going to watch this entire video
To
anyways.
be honest, 5% is like a rounding error, dude.
Right.
It's much less.
With our numbers, that means there's 2 of you who are female, right? Just kidding. We are growing every day as a channel. Thank you.
Yeah, get on
to
that.
our loyal listeners.
If you haven't subscribed yet, get on that.
Right.
Okay, let's
and-
jump right in. Let's jump right into it.
Okay.
Recent news. If you don't know, Upland has upland.me/events. This is where they post all the fun updates. Standard challenges are here.
Does it seem to you that there are more events kind of unfolding from the Upland group on a more like
Seems like more updates, more iterations are coming at a
Yeah.
faster rate for
why
sure.
Why was that so hard for me to ask that question? Like, how many events are we having? Seems like we're having more events.
No,
Yeah.
definitely there are more updates.
So they're
at a
speeding up.
faster
Is what
rate.
they're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good news.
And based on what we covered in our last episode about, the new investors that they have and
Right.
all that, we hope to see that pick up even more.
Yeah.
Standard challenges are essentially there's 2 main ones: people who visit the most properties and people who get the most visits. They're fun little challenges. You can check them out if you hit the little trophy icon in the app when you're playing Upland. You can see who's winning and you can learn how to get involved in those.
Okay, so standard challenges. The 2 standard challenges are how many can visit my property and how many visits can I visit of other properties.
Like it's the main one is like Rising Star, which measures the player who completes the most collections during the week. That's a different one.
That makes sense.
Mentioned.
All right.
So complete the most collections. You can win up to 30,000 UPIX, which is pretty cool.
$30, right?
Great Start Challenge measures the visitor. So this is a new player in the game who had the most unique sends to their properties. This is one where you probably want to get involved in the Discord and say, hey, I'm a new player. The Great Start Challenge is here. Visit my property.
Isn't that exactly what you said not to do like 2 episodes ago?
I said don't do that in Reddit, but I still think it's a waste of time.
Right.
Honestly, I'm going to say I don't support Upland in this challenge. Why do it? Why
Damn
have it
you,
be
Upland.
a visitor?
Right.
Why not just have it be whoever gets the most visits? Obviously, that would probably be Sanyika because he owns Grand Central Station.
Oh, really? Okay.
He'd probably win
in
every time.
Manhattan?
Yeah, in Manhattan.
How did he own that? Did he?
That was a
auction?
landmark. He paid like $25,000 for that.
Hope
But
you're enjoying that, dude. Yeah.
and then there's the People's Champ, measures the number of unique sends by a player to visitor properties. This one has to be. I feel like this one is the most strategic of winners. And this one takes the most effort to win. I feel like because you have to send to the most unique amount of new players. So this is someone who's probably really well networked. They're probably following the new player chat in Discord, and they're sending to those. And the People's Champ can win up to 30,000 UPIX. Honestly, the amount you're going to spend visiting all those properties may cost close to 30,000 UPIX. But
Yeah, not only that, the time-
hopefully you win.
Not only that, the time value of money. I mean,
I know.
how much time people are spending hoping to visit so many properties.
Which is what I covered in that episode.
Right.
I covered the time value of
Right.
money,
Right.
and I will repeat it. If you're going after, if you're just begging for people to send to your property to become an Uplander,
Yeah.
dude, go help somebody go help an old lady carry her groceries out to her car, and she will probably tip you $5 or $10, and therefore you can become an Uplander.
Yeah, or you could be one of those guys who washes windshields at the in the intersection. You know.
Anything.
Wait. Okay. So help me understand this. People are begging others to visit their property so they can become an Uplander. Like, what does that mean? Become an Uplander? Like, I thought to become an Uplander, you had to at least put some money into the game.
No, to become an Uplander, you have to reach a net worth of $10 or 10,000 UPIX. The game usually gives you about 6,000 when you start, so they're begging for $4. They're begging for $4.
All right.
They're pleading,
That's cool.
please visit my property for 20 cents so I can become.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I remember the days when $4 was hard. I mean, I was probably 18 or 13, but
You're not allowed to play this game if you're 13. You have to be 18 and older to play Upland.
yeah. Well, I mean, there are some nations where $4 would be a lot.
Okay, that's...
No, I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. I support you, bro. I'm with you.
Sorry if I was harsh, but I stand by it. I stand by it.
That's cool. Yeah.
If you have a rare case of not being able to generate any money and for whatever reason you have an iPhone and can play this game, please explain it to me and maybe I'll be there for you.
That's a good point. I mean, if you're able to afford an iPhone
or a computer. Okay.
All right.
But yeah, okay, let's go back and see the other events that are new.
I digress.
Nashville collections are here, dude. Today I dropped $16,000,
which
on
is nothing
Upland.
for you. I mean,
that is more than I have.
You're a high roller for sure.
I have to pretty much empty my Coinbase wallet because I'm bullish on Upland. I mean, who's emptying their crypto wallets to play Upland? Me.
Especially during a bull cycle. I mean, that's saying something. That's impressive.
Upland released marketplace analytics. If you don't know about this is super cool. We will drop a video on this later this week.
Yeah, I'm way excited.
Well, I'll walk you through some of my favorite features. It's going to take a second to load here if you're watching on YouTube. But there's some really cool features in here. Dude, the trends.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
Bro.
Oh, man, look at that dip. Look at that right there. Look at that dip. That's
dude,
a crash. What happened there?
No, it's going up,
no,
dude.
Look at that dip right there. Look at the end. No.
All right, I'll explain this later.
Sorry, my bad.
Vince hasn't looked at this yet.
Nope.
But, okay. And then we have the auction house. Dude, there's so much going on.
Yeah.
Dude, I won a property today in the auction house. Guess what? I got it for 600,000 UPIX. The floor of that collection that it was in is 1.9 million UPIX.
Dude,
I got
3X.
something for $600
3x
that I could sell for like 1.8 and 2. I'm sorry. I think it was I forgot who I got it from, but
that's cool, man.
I'm sorry, but hey, it's important for us to say when you put a property into the auction house, when you submit for your property to be in the auction house, do it at your own risk. Make sure that most of the time, I will say 9 times out of 10, a property goes for more than the floor.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing.
So it's kind of
every once in a while, one goes for low, and Loyal Doyle, yours truly, is always ready
to scoop it up.
I'm always ready to scoop those up.
This guy's an opportunist right here.
I am. I'm at every auction just waiting to win a property.
He may not agree on which gender to pursue. Well, he agrees on which gender he's pursuing.
I know what gender
but I mean,
I'm pursuing.
he is definitely pursuing the cheaper properties for sure.
I may not agree on the never mind. We won't go there. Okay.
Sorry.
What else?
Again, I digressed.
Okay.
Ultimate challenge. Ultimate fan challenge.
Yeah, dude. Legits are here. The fan scores are here. People are trading legits. They're trading
fantastic.
jerseys for hats and essentials
So cool.
for mementos to build up their fan score from
Yeah.
Tampa Bay to Arizona to New Orleans. They're trading for their favorite team.
That's cool.
Dude, just so that they can be first. Dude, I actually I was kind of like, I don't know about these NFL legits for a while.
Yeah.
But dude, wait till the day comes where it's NFL Sunday or
Right.
Monday Night Football.
Right.
And if you go to that stadium and you have the biggest fan score, you get first in line, first dibs on the NFTs for that game. Dude, these NFTs are going to go nuts.
Wow.
I was doubting them for a little bit, but I kind of caught the vision today in my own head, thinking about.
Sounds amazing.
It's fantasy football meets NFT collecting meets revenue generation.
Yeah, that's
dude.
a brilliant
it's
idea.
Fun, man.
It really is a brilliant idea.
It's gonna be. I promise you, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be like something we've never seen. Like people are gonna be going nuts over these NFTs in the near future.
Quick question: you still cannot buy 2021 season NFLPA legits, right? It's all 2020 still,
Yeah,
correct?
they're selling out 2020s still.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's cool.
Honestly, I don't picture till next year's season that the picture I just painted is actually
Gotcha. Okay.
launched.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward in 2025 to buying some 2021 NFL PA legits. That's going to be amazing. Good times then.
Good times.
Very
Good
cool.
times.
Well, all right.
All right. So what should we talk about today? I know you had some cool ideas.
Well, so I'm not the Uplander that you are. I love Upland. I am an Uplander.
You're an executive.
I am an executive, but you're like a chief executive, right?
Yeah.
And what is actually your status called?
Chief executive.
Is it really chief executive?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Chief executive.
Today
officer?
I hit 125 million
gosh.
Ubics.
Really?
Net worth.
Oh my gosh, dude. You're literally 100 more than I am. I'm like, dude, I started this game at like 25, and I think I'm like 25 and a half.
What's ironic is I think I was at like 60 when you started.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you have just continued to skyrocket, and I have continued to flounder.
Well, let's be fair. McSqueeb is taking some money out of the game.
Sure. I've taken
you
about...
You would be probably 80 million if you were like more.
Yeah, maybe. I've taken
all
some.
about it.
I've taken some fiat out. Yeah, about $12,000 of fiat out so far. So yeah, that's
There you
cool.
go.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So yeah, I just was, I know we don't have a whole lot of time. People aren't really. Maybe if you're driving and listening to this podcast, or you're doing your dishes, or you're mowing your lawn, whatever it is you're doing as you're listening to this, you probably don't have a whole lot of time. But I'm going to suggest that maybe we talk a little bit about the metaverse. Here it is, November 11th, 2021, and as at the time of this recording, and we all know that Bitcoin is having its all-time high. Ethereum's having its all-time high. Solana is crushing it. Cardano's kind of floundering a little bit, but that'll come when the Plutus application back
The Plutus circumference.
the PAB is released, which should be this month. That'll probably hit up to $5 sometime this year. Anyhow, a lot of stuff happening in crypto, but I think it's well established that in addition to those more, I guess the top 10 or established coins and tokens that are doing well, the trend happening right now in crypto is Metaverse projects, right? The Metaverse. I mean,
ever since Facebook dropped the name Meta as their parent company.
Yeah, and did you see, by the way, that their
picking up.
logo is kind of basically a ripoff of some other company out there that has been around for years, I guess. But yeah, So Facebook, the mother company of Facebook.
What logo did they rip off?
So just do like Meta logo ripoff, I guess. I don't know.
Where did you see this?
I saw it on the web somewhere. I don't know. Just
A WeChat ripoff?
maybe, I don't know. Like copy, I don't know.
It says it's a WeChat ripoff.
I don't remember it being WeChat, but yeah. Good images. No, it's definitely not that. No, so I don't know, but yeah. And yeah, there's some complaints out there, but okay. So Metaverse, the concept of the Metaverse continues to be a very hot topic in crypto. We all saw the Zuckerberg introduction of what the Metaverse is, and he was, trying to do his best to imitate Steve Jobs with the "and there's one more thing," at the end, as Steve Jobs used to do, which kind of fell flat in my opinion. But let's talk a little bit about the Metaverse. The Upland describes itself as a metaverse, and I would just want to ask this question: how do we define feta?
Dude, this was my favorite meme. Oh my gosh, dude.
Feta
I love
cheese.
you gotta love the internet for that reason.
For sure.
They come up with memes like that.
Right.
Feta.
All right. Okay, here's the question. Okay, so maybe this is academic, maybe this is annoying or whatever, but the question is, how do we define the metaverse? Okay, how do we define the metaverse, And why is that an important question? Why is it important that we define the metaverse? Because here's what I mean by that. Okay, so we call Upland a metaverse game, right? Right? And why do we say that? Because it's a virtual...
It's a virtual world.
Yeah, right? I think that the definition of the metaverse from Zuckerberg's standpoint is a little bit different, right? So he's like, it's taking virtual experiences and applying them to the real world as you interact with the real world through like maybe VR goggles or VR glasses, or whatever, right? It's not just opening up your app, whatever the app is, and descending into that world within that app. It is, I'm going to put these goggles on or these glasses on, and I'm going to start interacting with my folks here at work who just happen to be virtually sitting to my left, or I'm going to go to this island over here and experience some great moments there.
It's a good point. Yeah.
So I think his definition of the metaverse is a little bit broader. It's taking pieces of virtual experience and incorporating that into
he's probably
daily
trying
life.
to sell more of those Oculus goggles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Facebook owns Oculus, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I know he had like several products that he was kind of pushing, which I want to talk about, because here's the other conversation I want to have. So that's one way of debating the conversation of, or the question of, what is the metaverse? Is it something that we go into in an app or in a browser and experience? Or is it something that we experience here in our physical world with pieces of online things? Okay, so that's one debate. The other debate is this. Is the metaverse something that should be highly regulated, meaning that a centralized organization defines what that experience should be, like Facebook is trying to do, right? Or should it be akin to cryptocurrencies or the blockchain, and it be more decentralized, right? So okay, so let's look at Upland. Okay, would you say that Upland is a metaverse? I think Upland would say that they're a metaverse, right?
Absolutely.
Would you say, if someone were to say, okay, is Upland a decentralized or a centralized metaverse? What would you say?
I would say it's definitely. I would say it's definitely centralized at this point. It's definitely owned by a single company, who defines the rules, and like the players at this point don't have a lot of say as to where it's going, the
Right.
partnerships they're making. But I do believe firmly that it's in the vision. I've watched all of I'm sure most, like in a defense standpoint of Upland, I'm sure most players of the game or people looking into the game have not watched all the AMAs. I am someone who is probably deeper into my research into Upland, and I've watched all the AMAs. I've watched all the side interviews that Dirk and Edon have done.
Yeah.
And I know that it's strong in the vision of Upland to have it be as decentralized as possible, but there's still like in the early days of an economy, there has to be some like governance, I think,
Sure.
for it to
Sure.
for it to I don't know. Maybe that's too much of a defensive standpoint.
No, not at all.
But I definitely think it's in the vision for it to over time be like to scale like this. So like right now it's like 99% owner decision, 1% player decision, and I think every like whatever period they want to see that shift.
Yeah.
Over time.
And I'm not advocating that decentralization is better than centralization. I mean, there's certainly, I suppose the crypto world tends to be more favorable towards decentralization, right? Decentralized
For sure.
finance, DeFi. But, there are some crypto projects out there that say, hey, look, there's a component to us that are centralized, and we don't shy away from that. And there's a reason why we do that. But with the metaverse, here's why I asked that question. Okay.
Well, hold up.
Yeah.
Even with DeFi, is it really like decentralized? Just because it's different than a bank,
Right.
is it really like all of the people who invested are making all the decisions of how it functions? Or is there a core group of like, this is how it's going to work?
Yeah, that's a good point because, even with a lot of DeFi platforms, those who have invested more deeply into that platform have more voting rights.
Okay.
With that DeFi. I mean, there's not a corporation.
But isn't there still like a central team of like the developers of that thing that are going to like make the final decision? Well, and is it really the investors who are like, you better fix this? Because it's not like the investors are the one fixing it or saying.
Correct. Yeah. From a development standpoint and technology standpoint, absolutely. They define the parameters of what that platform will be and what that platform will offer. And then from there, they turn it. Theoretically, they then turn it over to the user base and the community to allow for decentralized, regulation and control.
Yeah, and how does that work? Like, it's honestly a topic I haven't studied a lot, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners haven't fully studied like how DeFi is supposed to work long term. Is it voting? Is that how it? Is it like the community, the investors? People who've put money into that coin vote on the next update, the way they should go with it?
Yeah, so now we're starting to get into like smart contracts versus proof of work, because smart contracts, once the smart contracts are put together, the concept there is that, at that point, there's no third party to regulate the decisions or interactions that happen that's governed by the smart contracts. And so if a DeFi platform is intelligent enough, they'll put the right smart contracts in place, or at least the templates for smart contracts, and then users can come in and, peer-to-peer then establish, kind of a smart contract arrangement, and then nobody has to step in. In fact, nobody can step in to regulate that. It's all regulated by the blockchain. And so, maybe the platform offers certain, percentages or yield farm, APY or whatever. And that may be something that is decided by the developers of the platform. But all of the interactions within there are completely 100% decentralized. For example, if you go to a bank today and you want to get a car loan for a car that you want to buy, you don't go to Joan Davis, who happens to be one who wants to earn some interest on her cash that she has sitting in the bank. You don't go to her. You go to the bank, and the bank's like, okay, let's look at your credit history. What kind of collateral, Mr. Doyle, do you have to offer, right? So that's the centralization. In a decentralized DeFi platform, they'll just a smart contract. You just say, this is what I want, and someone comes along, anonymously and offers that up, and there's no need for a central party to intervene or to govern that.
Yeah, I get that, but is there still a central company that like is controlling the function of where you go to ask for that money, or is it literally completely like it's built and now the community runs it 100%?
No, I don't think
like,
anything.
Is there really such thing as true decentralized platform?
Okay, so once the platform is established, okay, so theoretically, once a DeFi platform is established and they say, these are the parameters, it's established, and then they back away, and users can interact in a decentralized function. Now, on the blockchain, even so, what we're talking about is a dApp, right? We're talking about at the dApp level, but when you get down to the blockchain level, it's incredibly more decentralized than even that. I mean, nobody in Ethereum, the whatever that guy's name, who's the CEO of Ethereum, Vitalik, or whatever that dude's name is it's not like he's interacting and saying, hey, that NFT can't be sold for that price, or you can't stake those type of NFTs, whatever.
That makes sense.
Anyone can come into Ethereum and start creating stuff, right? Anyone can come in and start saying, these are the rules that I want to abide by. And if there's nobody in the marketplace who wants to participate in what you want, then it's not going to happen, right? It's completely decentralized. At that point, it is market-driven decisions, right?
So I think Upland is actually going to head more decentralized in a pretty quick fashion. I think we're going to see it with businesses. I think, honestly, long-term, anyone's going to be able to open a business. I think, I don't know.
Well,
I guess I'm still wrapping my head around the definition of what is decentralized.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's
because there's still a structure. There's still a company that's creating the structure within which the decentralization takes place.
Yeah.
But it's still a centralized team that made the structure and made the place where the decentralization takes. It's hard for me to even wrap my head around.
So let me help you out then. Let me back up a little bit.
Help me
Let me back up a little bit. Okay, so there's a Metaverse project that's about to launch. It's called the Sandlot, I think.
Okay.
And the concept behind this group is that they provide a protocol, they provide a platform, and within that group,
the Sandbox?
Yeah, that's it, Sandbox. Okay. You can go in as a user, and you can use whatever cryptocurrency you want to purchase things, right? You can create whatever you want using the tools. Now, of course, there you go again. So you're saying like somebody created the Sandbox. It's not like just an empty void.
Yeah, it looks like Minecraft. Like
it is.
There's a developer building the Minecraft.
Yeah. I mean, like there's not just like an empty like cardboard box and you can do whatever you want. I mean, someone's got to create this experience, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, the Sandbox, you can go in here theoretically and you can start creating, and then you can start monetizing however you want to monetize, right?
Okay,
so if you want to create a house, or if you want to create a tree house, or if you want to create a sheep or a herd of sheep, and then you want to decide that you want to sell sheep, or that you want to rent sheep, or that you want to create a game, if you want to do that, you can all do that without having to talk to Dirk or Edon, and you can create your own little experience and start to monetize that immediately, right? So, to that degree...
So does that exist currently?
It's about to. It's about to get launched, yeah.
So it doesn't exist yet, though?
Probably in a week it'll be launched, yeah. I mean, the technology...
That's good to know.
Yeah, so my point is this, dude. My point is this. I mean, every day there's a new Metaverse project popping up and launching and IDOing and all that, right? Every one of them within their own little Metaverse project has their own degree of how centralized or decentralized they are. The fact that some of these don't create their own currency and they allow any currency to come in, whether it be Ethereum, whether it be Polygon, whether it be Cardano, whether it be EOS, whatever it is, whatever you want, it's basically like a decentralized exchange at that point. When you walk in there and you say, hey, I just built this little village. I own this village because I just created it. And you know what? I'm going to offer it for 16 ETH, right? Someone might come along and say, that's cool, but I'm going to offer you 400 Cardano for it. Or I'm going to offer you some fiat for it, right? The game doesn't say you can't do that. The game says it's up to you. What do you do with the things you've created in here?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? So that's a little bit... So you could say maybe it's not 100% decentralized because there is a group behind this doing something to this game to create the ecosystem in the way they've created it. But you could say it's a little bit more decentralized than Upland, because at least from the currency standpoint, there's nobody saying, okay, this is the currency you can have, and this is the value of that currency, and you can't buy anything. You can't buy Spark with this particular currency. You can create in this game, you can create whatever you want and then list it for whatever you want. Anything you create is your mint that you've minted, and then you can list it for whatever you want, right? So you could say that that's a degree more, at least, decentralized than Upland, right? I'm not saying that's better or worse. I'm just saying it is what it is. Now, here's the next thing. The other thing is that there's going to be tomorrow 10 more metaverses that's going to pop up, right? To me, I start to wonder, and I think, are we repeating like the 90s when websites were like e-commerce sites were popping up and everybody had their own different type of like e-commerce platform that they were coding and creating themselves, right?
Yeah,
Well,
I could see that.
over
I could see that's
time-
where we're going.
Yeah,
with
over
metaverses.
time, all those individual e-commerce carts and things started to kind of just fade away. And what happened is there's probably 5 or 6 different type of cart systems that you could subscribe to. Today, there's, I don't know, 10 different cart systems you can subscribe to create an e-commerce site, instead of every place having its own individual, every website having its own individual type of cart code, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
And in fact, to take it a step further, there's like Apple Pay, there's PayPal, and there's these other point of sale, currency, processes that connect with all of these carts that make it easy for anybody to come in and create an e-commerce site. Whereas in the 90s, it was a wild, wild west, and everybody was rushing to create an e-commerce site, and they're creating their own code. I feel like right now, everybody's rushing to create their own metaverse. And the problem with that is that these metaverses will not interact with other metaverses.
Yeah, that's the real question, is like which metaverse is going to win?
Yeah, I mean, like,
Which metaverse is going to become like the...
Yeah, and the thing I worry about is that these metaverses here, like the Sandbox that we were looking at earlier, they're tokenized in that it's bringing people who could care less about the metaverse to these metaverse projects for the sole fact of wanting to own the token and then sell the token for more than what they paid for it, right? So it's bringing more people to it, whereas Upland, there's no token external to the game.
Don't you think not having a token early on though protects the game a little bit? I'm gonna make a reverse argument a little bit.
Yeah.
If you make a token for your game, some really wealthy company like Facebook, for example, could buy a ton of your token.
Right, create a whale situation.
And then crash it overnight.
Sure.
They could buy like 2 trillion of your token.
Yeah.
$2 trillion.
Yeah.
And then the next 2 months later sell all of that.
Yeah.
And everyone who bought in when it was way high is like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they just sell all of it.
Yeah.
And they just crash the game.
For sure.
Just to build so don't you think in some way I kind of like that Upland isn't a token yet while we're still I think we're so early in the world of metaverses.
Yeah.
It truly is the wild, wild west, like you said.
Yeah, agreed. Now, let's say this one doesn't have a token that you could buy in, but you can come in and you are encouraged to you have more autonomy to create whatever it is you want and to monetize whatever it is you want using whatever currency you want that already exists from other blockchains, right? That's going to attract more investors. It's going to attract more players, right?
Why having different forms of currency does that attract more people? Because there's exchanges out there. Upland allows you to buy UPX with crypto.
I can buy UPX with ETH right now?
Yeah, right now.
Okay. Can I change my UPX back into ETH?
No.
See, that's the problem. Because these guys, you can come in and you can buy whatever you want with whatever you want, and then you can sell it for whatever you want for whatever you want immediately.
You are going to be able to do that with Wax. It's going to be the first.
What is Wax?
Atomic Hub, Wax, big NFT platform. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I have 1,300 properties in Upland right now, and if I could sell it for ETH, maybe I would.
No, you could sell it for wax, convert your wax to ETH.
When's that coming?
That's coming very soon.
So I can. Why can't I just convert to? Why do I have to convert to wax to convert?
Because the NFT portal they created. You have to understand, like.
So
the portal is going. The first, like, I think eventually everything you're saying will come to Upland. Actually.
Yeah. So. Okay, so
but no, dude, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think it is easier to get money out of some of these other metaverses.
Yeah, I mean it's like instant, right? But like here's my point. It's not so much that. My point is though is that everybody's creating their own little metaverses. And ultimately what's going to happen is that there's going to be one company who owns the metaverse. And then there's like there's two companies, really, maybe three at the most, who own mobile device operating systems, right? There's iOS and there's Android, right? I mean, how many other mobile operating systems are there? There's probably a couple. It's like Windows back in the day. There's not many. But really, it's Android and iOS,
dude,
right?
And I think we're going to see that, though. Don't you think? Don't you think there's going to be one metaverse that starts to really stand out and they start just acquiring other metaverses? And don't you think Upland is big enough on the map that if, for whatever reason, a different metaverse becomes way bigger and way more powerful than Upland, that they would want to acquire Upland's users and assets and integrate it into their world? Because, dude, okay, let's actually talk about that.
Yeah.
This Sandbox one, how do I know, dude, like, explain to me what this map means, okay? The fact that Upland made it replicate the real world, I actually think is a huge strategic advantage they have.
Because it translates to
it just makes more sense in your head that it mimics the real world. Like, even though it may look different, like I'm in China right now, in the digital world, and the buildings look different than they actually look in real world China, but you still know, like, you have the same landmass that China has. It's like easier to wrap your head around than, oh, look, here's this world with unlimited landscape, and like, how do I know what keeps its value and what doesn't?
Yeah, no, I like it. I love that. I love that about Upland. But think about you mentioned Minecraft. Like, how big is Minecraft?
Huge. Well, and the problem is there's like a million different servers, so like there's like it doesn't all exist in one world. It's like there's a million different worlds.
See, okay, there. So what I'm saying is that this is just me, okay? It's just me. But I believe that eventually all these multiple different metaverses or whatever, they're not going to survive.
No, they won't.
I think there's going to be one. Ultimately, I think there's going to be one, maybe two, maybe three, a handful of metaverses that exist.
Agreed.
Ultimately.
There will be at least two. There's always two.
Sure.
That like are fighting it out.
Yeah, just like there are probably 10 different
iOS
blockchains,
versus,
whatever,
versus Google or whatever,
But my point is this, dude. We're never going to get there unless each of these metaverses start becoming more decentralized. Because I would say that the next thing that's going to happen is that there's going to be a metaverse who says we're cross-chain. We're not just on ETH. We're cross-chain on ETH and Avalanche. Or we're cross-chain on Solana and Polkadot. That's what's going to happen next. Is there going to be a metaverse that's cross-chain, and then there's going to be the next one's going to be like, okay, not only are we cross-chain, but we are chain agnostic.
Yeah.
And then eventually, someone's going to be the big dog is going to win, and the only way they're going to win is that they're decentralized. And then what happens is that there's this decentralized metaverse that's so flexible that allows third-party dApps projects to come into the metaverse and fully create cool, user experiences within that metaverse. All I'm saying is
No,
like
that's
like
dude,
I'm
that's a solid argument.
like I'm
for
super
sure.
I super love, like I'm all about Upland. I love it. I love Upland. I put a lot of money in Upland. I love it. I hope it succeeds. But I'm saying is that the Sandbox is not going to succeed. Upland's not going to succeed. Decentralized is not, whatever that.
Decentraland,
Decentraland is not going to succeed.
Axie Infinity.
Axie Infinity, although is blown up, is not going to succeed unless there's these principles of decentralization that allow for anyone to come in and do whatever the hell they want on that metaverse and create cool freaking experiences that is not restricted by all these heavy freaking rules and only one exchange. I mean, like the whole concept.
Yeah, so Upland, hey Upland, we're calling you out. Get third-party developers with this $18 million investment you got. We want to see third-party developer tools coming quick. We want to see businesses be more decentralized, right?
Yeah.
Like it being more, like what you're saying is,
well,
honestly, okay.
Yeah.
I think a lot of what you're saying is from a decentralized like exchange type, like they allow, what's the proper term? They allow all different type of currencies to come in.
Sure.
I still think that's only one aspect though.
No,
that's
I
only
agree.
one side of like the coin.
Yeah.
The other side is like, how user friendly is it? How?
Oh, sure. The experience, yeah, sure.
Because in that aspect, I actually give Upland higher than any of these. Ease of entry, and like ease to get in and start playing and learn about it. Upland has a lot of work to do on their tutorials and like training, but I think.
Yeah, I mean, Upland has a lot going for it. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying that like the whole movement on the blockchain and decentralized finance and decentralized, really anything is to say, look, we are trying to get away from government regulations. And one particular criticism of Upland is that basically they have their own government. They have their own currency. They decide when a city is going to be released and when it's not. They can send people to Alcatraz. Like, I mean, it's basically a government. They've created their own little government. And it is the antithesis to some degree of the decentralized movement. And I all I'm saying is, like, I think Upland's got a very, very bright future. But I'm just asking the question of how bright is that future for any individual metaverse project unless they fully open themselves up to decentralized principles to really invite crypto enthusiasts to come in and do and perform as autonomously as they would want to within a decentralized environment.
Yeah, and that's okay. Right there, that's where I think Upland will succeed in the next year or two. Is if they need to go after gamers, and that's where honestly Sandbox is a little intimidating because it's like so much like Minecraft and Roblox. Like it's really easy to see like people who already play those types of games to come in and mirror crypto with their experiences they have in Roblox and Minecraft, which are some of the biggest games.
Yeah. I mean, Efinity. So check out Efinity. Efinity's going to be another one, man. It's going to be freaking just blowing the roof off things. But, like, there's so many that are coming up, and every one of them's got their unique advantages. And I'm just saying, like, eventually they're going to start dying off, and there's going to be one or two that's going to be huge.
Yep.
And the one or two that's going to be huge are the ones that's going to allow the most flexibility for users to come in and do whatever they want to do, and to create islands, to create 3D experiences, to create businesses, to create to monetize certain things, to create services, to create and to use. I want to connect my wallet to it and use the funds that I already have. I want to stake inside, this or whatever. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, and I'm sure maybe Upland's got that all in their vision.
Dude, I love it. Yeah. Dude, people like us in the community have to be the ones that ask for these tools and
Yeah.
ask for and push it.
Yeah, I think, dude, and don't get me wrong, I think Upland has done things that no one else has so far. Like their vision, I actually personally, I'm not a big sci-fi guy. I don't like, I don't get all excited about like brave new worlds. I love the fact that, I've told you, I was in Chicago, 3 weeks ago, and I visited a certain establishment, and I thought this place was super cool. It was like a punk rock kind of like late night place. I went home and I bought that. And
Dude, that's awesome.
I love that. Like I love that about Upland. It's never going to be in the Sandbox. It's never going to be anything else. And I love that it's real world, and because that kind of stuff appeals to me. Like it's a punk rock kind of cool late night place, and I bought that and I own that. The Sandbox is never going to create that. But at the same time, I would love to take that little place that I bought and do way more cool stuff with it than what Upland allows me to do right now. And there's so many opportunities for me to do stuff with it that comes with decentralization. So all I'm saying is like Metaverse is a cool thing. Metaverse is a hot thing. I think, the people are predicting that the Metaverse right now is in its infancy and that it's probably going to be like, 1,000x over the next 10 years. It's only going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so all this cool stuff that's coming out and that we're seeing, probably 99% of them are going to fail. And the ones that will succeed are the ones that really allow the user base to do really just have ultimate flexibility to do cool stuff is all I'm saying.
Perfect, dude. Great episode. Upland. I think what McSqueeb is saying is give us that vision. Sell us on what's coming. Sell us on what like features we're going to be able, like how soon are we going to be able to create our own stuff and kind of write our own future within the metaverse that is Upland and create what we want to create and build businesses the way we want to build them. I think that would be exciting updates, and I hope they're coming soon. With this new $18 million investment and the investors that they have and the relationships that they have, who knows? Maybe they'll join forces with some of these other games that already exist.
Yeah. No,
and
the guys, the people who are running Upland are far more intelligent than me. And I'm sure that they've wrestled with this conversation, or they probably like, they've got something so far in advance that's in mind that I shouldn't be worried about these kind of things.
We hope so. We hope so.
Yeah.
And as the Upland Show, we will bring you all the news and updates as often as we can, and we will do our best to keep the Upland team accountable as well for all of these things. And we're going to tell you. If we lose confidence in the game, we will let you know. Yeah. As of right now, we are still hopeful. The future's bright.
Absolutely. Love Upland.
And we hope to see.
And you said earlier that 2022 is going to be the biggest year for Upland, and I totally agree.
I think it is.
100% agree.
I think this new round A, what is it?
No.
A seed A investment.
I don't know.
That they have.
All I know is that companies like to pursue venture capitalists rather than venture capitalists pursue companies, whereas girls like to pursue. They like to be pursued.
Bringing it back.
Yeah. So I don't know.
There you go. Thanks for joining us. We hope to see you in the next one, and peace out, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll see you.